What were some of those personalities you were saying you get in the personal training field?
You get a lot of different personalities. I mean, you see every walk of life when you're a personal trainer. You train so many different people, and you're just stuck with them for a half hour, several times a week. So whether you want to get to know them or not, you're going to get to know that person.
Yeah.
Pretty much every personality type. You get old, young, crazy, boring. Out of everything, I'd say the hardest to train are people who are just boring.
Yeah.
Sometimes that drama, you want that drama just to keep yourself entertained. You're like, so you cheated on me? Tell me about this. What's going on? No, we'll do curls in a second. Like tell me about
It's
this.
like a live therapy session.
Yeah.
I actually had one client, this is embarrassing on my end to say as the trainer, where, it was like half-hour sessions, and we just it's almost like I couldn't train her anymore because we got along too well. It's for she would talk about some drama going on in her life.
Yeah.
And we'd be talking about it. Next thing I know, there's
you wouldn't get
5
anything
minutes.
done. Yeah.
We
I've
got
been in
one
that situation.
exercise. And then I feel worse because we do get along, and then I'm like, session's over, I'll see you next week. And you can tell she's got a look that's like, we didn't really do it.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's tough to find that balance.
Yeah. What about the wackos clients? We all get those wacko ones.
Definitely got some wacko clients. Gosh, which ones are the very? I've just had so many. I think I've slowly weeded them out.
Well, that's the funny thing about when you start off as a trainer anywhere is you have to be willing to accept anyone.
You take everything, yeah, and you're going along for the ride. You're just you're just supporting everything they're saying, all the craziness. You're just going along with it.
Who was it? Wasn't it Dowd or someone who, when he joined us at the gym, he got all those? Wasn't it a couple of your clients and a couple of there was that couple, and it was just the real.
Yeah, I think I remember this.
Or
Yeah, he just got the bad end of the straw now. Yeah, he got some really horrible ones. But I have too, man. I've had some people that were just remember Brendan? Oh, we don't talk names, but there was one guy. His first name is Brendan. Anything else. But this guy would show up, and he had to have been on heroin. I think all of us trained this person. And,
he would cycle through all of us, right? It was whoever was available.
Yeah, we'd use every one of us at random times, and every one of us thought it was the worst session we'd have to deal with. And it would just be a lottery of who got this guy. And they're oh fuck, there he goes. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, I got him. All right, okay. And he's just not responsive. You're looking at him, you can tell he's just totally faded, and it's just uncomfortable. Wearing really questionable outfits, it's from West Hollywood. Not comfortable. I'd say the most uncomfortable is when you have, or at least for me, I can only imagine how girl trainers are, because you do get those older, creepy clients.
I specifically request them.
Yeah. And I've had some old Cougars, some crazy Cougars, really, that were interested in me. And I had this one lady who would just always say the most explicit, obvious hitting on you type remark at the end of our sessions, and it became a running joke. I think this was after you left, but it was a running joke of what she was gonna say. We go to the trainer desk, all the other trainers are hanging out, and the session had just ended, and she stops by and she's like, boy, she's 55 years old, plastic surgery all over her face, just disgusting lady. Just boy, you really know how to get my gears going.
Oh,
and then it walks off. It was covering my face. I'm oh my Lord. Oh God.
My very first client I ever got when I started as a trainer was, there's definitely something off with this girl. She was younger, but something was off.
Yeah.
And she kept doing the same thing, kept referencing how she had other friends who dated their trainers, and I'm new. I'm only
I got one for you.
21 at the time, and she would she had a sports bra underneath one session, and she's like, "I'm just gonna take this off. I hope you don't mind." And it was just super uncomfortable all around because I didn't know how to handle the situation. And she'd be like, "Do I look good in this outfit? How do I look?" And I'm like, I don't know what's crossing the professional boundary here.
What did this girl look like?
I don't want to be an asshole, but she wasn't my type of attractive. She was just, something was off. She just kept pushing I hear a lot of times trainers end up with their clients. Why do they?
Yeah.
She basically wanted me to end up with her, which is ironic because, full disclosure, now fast forward years later, my current girlfriend Alexis, that's how I met her.
Yeah, that is right.
She was my first client at the gym we worked at. And it kind of ties in all what you were saying together is they need to be a little polarizing, a little drama. And
Yeah.
the first thing she said was something like, this is the first session with her, she's like, hey, just let me know if my nipple's popping out or anyone's staring at my asshole. Like, it was just so far out there from what a client usually does that I was like, what?
Yeah. It's like you're not anticipating it. And for me, my default is to just go to like, just dismiss it and go to like, be really professional and be like, oh, okay, let's go to this. You know, I just kind of dismiss it right away. But some are really relentless with it.
Yeah.
They'll just keep going at it. Like I had this one client where I tried to demonstrate stuff to her. Again, the fact that you're not saying she's hideously ugly is already an improvement from what I had to deal with. Okay, because every time I've been in one of these situations, it is a nightmare. And one of the nightmares was this older lady that would not listen to the instructions I gave her. When I was demonstrating an exercise, at the end of the demonstration, she'd go, oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. I was too busy staring at your arms.
Oh, my
I was like, okay, I'll go through it again. Or staring at something else. Or, but going back to what you said, recently I had a client, this girl that I started training a few months ago. And one of her friends, she said, was interested in training. This was a cool girl. She's like 22 years old, got along with her fine. And her friend texted me a little bit, trying to set up a session. Didn't end up setting something up. She seemed to be concerned about the price. And the next day I was training that same girl, 22-year-old girl, and I was like, hey, your friend texted me, but we didn't set anything up. I think maybe the price was too high or something. She's like, oh yeah, about that. He asked me that same question. Is this stereotype true? I was like, what do you mean is the stereotype true? Well, you know, like trainers will like hook up with housewives and like hook up with their trainers and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I've seen it. I haven't done it myself, but I've seen this happen. Why do you ask? She's like, well, my friend was wondering if there's other ways she could compensate you. And I was so not ready for it. I was like, whoa. And I was like, what do you elaborate? And she's like, you know what I mean. And she was so direct with it that I was just totally thrown off guard. And I said no. Well, that's not the first thing I said. The first thing I said was, is she cute? And then I said no, based off her response. Now her friend, here's how you know if a girl's ugly. When her friend goes, her friend, like,
her friend's not backing you
almost always a friend has to at least say, like, she's kind of cute or something. And then she just goes,
just in her favor right now.
And so I was like, all right, no, that's off the table. But no, so I have a clean track record in terms of that, which I think is pretty impressive at this point.
Yeah, that is. You've been a trainer how long now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clean record. What for those listening in? Just give a little background on who you are and.
Yeah, I was originally. Well, I came from Loyola Marymount University as a film student in LA. I was transitioning into a career in film and television. I worked 2 years in production in Hollywood. I didn't like it. I was just the culture, the environment. It was just chaos. It's like being a producer in Hollywood is like, how well can you control chaos and make friends with the right people? And being like certain clubs, I felt like it was like the adult version of high school, trying to get in with the right group and get the right people and do the right favors, and the overall culture is just it's different. It requires a specific mentality and a specific kind of mindset to be really successful, I think.
Oh, for sure.
And I didn't feel like I had that. So, but I was good at teaching, was good with people, and a really nice guy overall. And so I was trying to find something that would play to those skills, at least in the meantime. So I started personal training as like a part-time gig, and then ended up liking it so much I just stuck with it. And then like 3.5 years now. And I don't miss Hollywood, that's for sure. Man. I had some weird jobs in Hollywood, some weird production jobs. It's just such a different kind of place when you're dealing with very cutthroat people. It attracts a certain type of person, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
You get like, it brings out the most cutthroat in people. Like you could see them at a bar or outside or with their family, and they're one person, and then you see them and their work element, and they're nasty, man. They're just nasty people. I worked for, I had different production jobs, different office jobs and stuff like that, and it's just
Any particular weird incidents that highlights that atmosphere?
I had some weird stuff. Here's where the weird stuff comes in: is I didn't deal well with those high pressure, extreme multitasking environments, so my brain got scrambled, and like I myself personally ran into like bad situations, a couple embarrassing situations, like a lot of small embarrassing situations where like my mentality clashed with like what was expected of me. Like my skills did not meet that criteria for what you needed. And but when I interviewed for all those jobs, I just fucking lied to them. It was just like, I'm a great multitasker. I'm very fast. Like all the things that I'm terrible at, I was like, I can do great, very efficient, fast-paced, and high-pressure conditions with extreme multitasking. I'm like, and as I'm saying this, I'm like, that is the worst thing that that's like my worst enemy right there. So like my brain was kind of scrambled a lot because they were yelling at you to do so many different things. Whether I was a production assistant on set or an office manager in the office of commercial production companies and stuff, whatever the tasks were, it was just like a chaotic list of things that you have to do. And then there's another list of things that went wrong with that current list that you have to fix in a really quick time while people are yelling at you while this is going on. And so I would just forget shit. I would just forget stuff. I wouldn't like CC a director on an email, and like they wouldn't get it, and they're like, Rex, goddammit. I was like getting like PTSD because like I'd hear my name yelled, and I'm at my desk. I'm like, oh fuck. All right, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. But I'd say, let's see, what's the most like one of the most embarrassing things that happened to me, I think, was like little things aside from the actual work happened to me, like where I just wasn't thinking straight. Like one night before work, it was on a Sunday night, I smoked a little weed and I smoked too much. That was pretty high.
Never a good sign.
And my beard had grown out like way longer than it should be. It was like 5 days of growing out, 5 days on me. I'm hairy as fuck. It grows pretty damn quick. And so I shaved it with my electric razor. It's what I usually use. And then like halfway through, shaved half my face, and then the razor dies, the battery dies. And so I charged it, and I'm like, man, I'm fucking tired. It's 11 o'clock. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'll finish in the morning, right? But it had been such a crazy week of all this work, all this stuff, and I had so many things on my mind, answering emails constantly. I wake up in the morning, I look at my emails, there's a ton of shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this shit started. I get in my damn car without having finished the shaving job. All right.
So it is like half done.
Yes, this isn't like a not well groomed situation. This is like half my goddamn face has a beard on it, and the other half is completely shaved. Right.
Crazy so trend. It's all good.
Yeah. So it was pretty bad, and this was like my second week at this job too. And these people didn't know me that well, and I open up the office, and so I get there. I don't realize what had happened until I was like there. I parked there, I looked in my mirror in my car, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, they're gonna be here in 5 minutes. Like, I need to open up this place right now. I go in, and before I could, my strategy was like, all right, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna dart out of here, go to CVS, grab a razor, some shaving cream, and do this thing and get back as quickly as possible before they know what's going on. Someone shows up fucking early, right? So one of the bosses shows up early, but I was like, I can't show them my full face. I can't do this. So she comes in, her desk is behind me, and so I don't want to show her the right side of my face. So I'm literally having a conversation. The first 2 minutes I'm there, until she looks away for me to leave, I am having a conversation like behind my back, like, yeah, you need those documents? Okay. All right, no, that's cool. It's really hard to carry a conversation when you're only showing one side of your face, I realize. And she looks away. I dart the fuck out there. I run to CVS. I'm like sprinting.
You're still high at this point?
I'm still like hungover high. Okay. Yeah, I'm still like a little hungover high, which doesn't help. I mean, it just adds to the insecurity and the paranoia of the situation. I was freaking out. Oh no. We were just talking about how your production, the books is just really high-end stuff right here.
High-end, yeah.
But so I make it to CVS. I get the razor, shaving cream, and even when I was at CVS, it was just sad. I felt bad for them. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you run into those cashiers that are like the happy-go-lucky, like they comment on everything you're buying. You're like, oh, someone's having a picnic. What are you doing? Like, oh, I see you're doing this. It's that happy lady, and I'm in line, and then my turn comes. I slam down the razor and shaving cream. She looks at my face, and she just goes, okay. doesn't come like. She doesn't like. I am not even gonna fucking go there. Like, I'm like the happiest person that talks to every customer. I'm not gonna even address this. This is
You should have
weird.
made her feel weirder and like thrown in random things with it, like like condom and like shaving cream and like something weird.
Yeah,
She's like, this guy's got a half a face and he's buying condoms and a razor? What's going on right now?
That's actually a funny prank to do. So, like a concoction of the most random things that like a very suggestive chain of like items that you buy. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But then I make it back and just shave the quickest I've ever shaved, just razor burn. It says there's blood coming down. I don't care. I'm like, I'd rather have the razor burn and marks than like be late for like coming back in. But yeah, that happened, and I got kind of blocked out of my memory for a little while.
Speaking of being too high, when I was in college, I was competing. That's when I was competing in my physique competitions. And so when you're competing and you're diving down, your head's already in a certain kind of space, and then you're diving down, so it's in another kind of space. And there's only like I can't be drinking if I'm getting ready for a show because you gotta do everything. So I'm like, but I can still get high, so let's do that.
Yeah.
So we're at my buddy's house party, and I'm as high as can be. And my two friends are playing beer pong against these two like redneck looking kids I'd never seen before, and I was just being high. I was just getting bad vibes from them for no reason whatsoever. So I'm just leaning against like a post in the basement, and for whatever reason, I thought they were making fun of my friend. Specifically, I thought they were making fun of his shirt and saying it was too tight. Just this weird storyline was building in my head. So out of nowhere, and I'm not someone who's confrontational or speaks up at all. And I randomly just go, why don't you wear a fucking shirt that fits? And the guy turns around and he goes, excuse me, what'd you just say? And I said, you heard me. Get a fucking shirt that fits. And like, he's going 0 to 100. He's like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And like, all of a sudden, it's like reality hit. And in my head, I'm like, wait, what if none of this actually happened? And for whatever reason, I'm just like, imagining this. And luckily, like, he's getting ready to step up. But luckily, his friend like calmed him down and said, go take a lap, man. And I had to just walk away. And I was like,
told you to take a lap, or told his friend to take a lap?
Yeah. So it de-escalated, thank God. But when
that realization sets in, more paranoia comes. You're just like, then you question everything. You're like, fuck, what am I doing here? Who did I offend? Do they hate me? How much do they hate me? Like,
and that's when like the typical high paranoia kicks in of just like, you could be saying something to me, and because I have a delayed reaction, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta answer him. Oh wait, has it been too long since he asked that question? Oh, now I'm definitely been quiet for too long. Now he's probably just looking at me, wondering why I'm not saying anything, and just staring into space. And I'm very inner monologue.
Yeah, that's how weed makes you. It's weird. It's like you focus on things you would never normally focus on, and in some ways it's a good thing. You can just pick up on things and that you never realized. But most of the time it's not. At least not for me. If I watch movies high now, I don't even focus on the plot of the characters. I'm like, oh, there's some continuity errors right there. See the background, that was different. That's a bad makeup job right there.
Yeah. Look at that. The chess pieces were on there before they were not on there.
Yeah, like that. Or like that wouldn't happen in real life. I say that like 10 times throughout a movie if I'm high. I'm like, that's not realistic. I can see the way they're walking, that background. I'm like, no, it's not working.
What are there any particular shows you're watching right now that still do that with?
No, I don't know. I haven't been not on the show train lately. I haven't been following.
You know what? In high school, I watched. Have you ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yes.
I watched that one of the first few times I got really high, and that's kind of like a mind.
Yeah, because it's about drugs and everything.
Yeah, it's about like 3 characters and how they're all addicted to heroin, and it's just their huge decline. In 3 different ways of how it just.
Was it all heroin, or was it different drugs in there?
All the kids they were all heroin, and then the mom was addicted to speed.
You're right. Yeah.
And it just showed, and like the end metaphor was just like all they really needed was each other.
Yeah.
But they were just falling deep into these drugs that was getting them some superficial goal.
But you're smoking weed, so it's really not.
If
they had a weed guy in there, that wouldn't have worked for that film. That guy would have just been like, it's like, oh yeah, well, I got fired, but we'll just surf on my just couch surf right now, and then that's like, that's how that guy turns out.
Can you go out and function properly while being high? Can you do that?
No, I can't. I can function. There's certain things I can do. I can go to the grocery store. I usually opt to go into the self-checkout aisle, so I don't have to talk to anyone, even if I have a ton of shit.
Do you end up buying more from the grocery because you're high and hungry? Or
No, not more, but just weirder shit. It's like stuff I would never... One time I came back with a juicer, and I was like... And I was so baked, I come back to my roommate, I'm like, dude, I just bought a juicer. Like, why? I'm like, I don't know, I just bought one.
I spent 30 minutes in the international food section looking at Goya beans.
Yeah, it definitely makes it more fun for sure. Just any errands and stuff, I can drive well high. Nice. I can do errands high very well. But when it comes to socializing, it's a whole. I can't do it.
Yeah.
If I smoked before this, I'd be a mess. It'd be horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to. When I was younger, I guess I just had less care in the world about worrying about other people. I could operate, but now it's like. Just bad.
No. I think you just have more thoughts. You get older, you just have more things to worry about. So when you're running those thoughts through your head while high and paranoid, it just makes it all the more stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're done, you have the luxury of just not caring about anything, so you get high all the time, whatever. Yeah.
Even going out, we were talking about beforehand. Just going out, like you said. You were going out with all the guys to a bungalow.
Oh yeah, and they would smoke. They smoke. I think some people. Smoke as a way of getting comfortable sometimes, whether it's like a social situation or whatever. But at the same time, I don't care how good you are with weed. If you're in like a bar setting, weed's never gonna put you in the right state. I'm sorry, especially in LA, all these crazy people, different types of people.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by a lot of new things popping out at you. That's just not the ideal situation to be in.
Yeah.
If you're high and at a place like that. Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to hit on girls.
Yeah, hitting on girls. That's
How did that go at the bungalow?
That was an interesting time. I'd have to blame some of it on weed that my friends smoked, but it was mostly. I think there's different personality types too, because there's some people that will thrive in a bar environment talking to girls. And then there's other guys and it's just not even girls, maybe just socializing or whatever, just like they just vibe well with that. And there's other people that it's just too much. You're on that end. Okay.
Yeah, oh, perfect story. This isn't even at a bar. This is like in a more comfortable setting.
Yeah.
Back to college again.
Yeah.
We're playing beer pong, and one of my roommates, he was just that smooth type where the less he tried, the more girls loved it. Like, wouldn't get dressed up. He's in like a shirt with holes in it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to bed. I don't give a shit about this. And girls are like, nah, stay.
Right.
So he's like, beforehand, he's like, Joe, you just gotta not give a shit. And this is where I learned the lesson that like, that might work for some people, but you gotta find your style.
Yeah.
And this is when I learned the hard way that not giving a shit is not my style because I don't really use it. So we're paired up. He's with a girl. I'm with a girl. We're playing beer pong. And you see him, he's just like, oh, my back's hurt from carrying this team. He's like throwing all these like little aggressive liners. And she's loving it. She's like, shut up.
Yeah.
So then I try my hand at that. And I just turn to the girl and I'm like, she's like missing her shots. And I'm like, man, you suck at this. And like, record scratch. Like the girls look at each other. Like she's straight up offended.
Yeah.
And my friend's just holding in his laughter. And her friend, of course, they're going to come to her defense. She was like, excuse me, what did you just say to my friend? And immediately I'm like, this is not going how I thought it would. And all of a sudden they're like, maybe we should leave. I don't know if we should be here anymore. And I'm like, how do I get out of this situation? Like, I got to go check something over in my room. I'll be right back. And my friend just died laughing. Because it wasn't my style.
Yeah, no, it's not your style. Maybe you didn't give enough of a fuck. Because when she got angry, you gave a fuck.
This is true.
As soon as she got angry, she saw like, oh, he cares.
Yeah.
He's a fake, not giving a fucker.
He's caring now when he just tried to down talk me before.
This guy's fake as shit.
Yeah, this is the worst dude I've ever met.
Sometimes I've noticed that. But here's the thing with giving advice like that. I hate people that give advice like that. this is a horrible advice. And it's always people who are good at one thing, whether it's girls or whatever, they always give you that one piece of advice. Like, all you gotta do, all it is right here. And that's never the thing. That's never the answer.
Why is that? Why is that never the way?
That's never. There was no way it would be that easy. I think what you're looking at is someone who like is good at something but can't articulate why they're good at it. So they're just like, dude, it's just because just gotta not give a fuck, man. That's all it is. You give a fucks. I don't.
Yeah.
That's why my life is better.
Let me show you how it works, and they do it. And I've even had times where they do it, and they think it. That's the best. Is it's one thing if it actually worked for them. It's even better when I get to I love watching people and seeing guys different methods on hitting on girls. I love seeing methods that don't work, but they think they're so good at it.
That's the greatest. Yeah.
I had a friend who thought he was good at that. So when we were at bars, he would just dismiss these girls, and they straight up were just creeped out by him. They'd be like, "Hey," and he'd go up to them later, like, "Hey, you guys want to get drinks?" And they'd be like, "We're good. We'll see you later." And he's like, "I don't even give a shit, man. Like, I don't care."
Yeah.
He's just so bad at it.
There are so many ridiculous, like, terrible pickup artist guys out there that give bad advice. I realize, and I didn't realize that there's a whole like underground community of it. And some of the stuff, some things you hear make sense, and other things are like. You get like guys who are never good with girls, but trying to make a science out of it. Some like weird
peacocking.
What was that? That was with Mystery.
And his peacock was wearing the goggles on
his
head.
Oh my god,
and
that's
it was like a
ridiculous.
tried and true method of like, I wear these goggles and I wear all these cool rings because girls love it. And then you show the clips in the club, and the girls are like, "Wow, you got goggles? That's so cool." I'm sorry, if I roll up in a club with goggles and like, rhinestones on my jacket, girls are gonna say, "I'm not talking to this guy because he's a fucking weirdo wearing goggles on his head."
Really? Or are they gonna be like, "He doesn't give a fuck. I wanna fuck him. He doesn't give a fuck."
See, this is how bad I am at not giving a fuck.
That guy the guy who gave me that not giving a fuck advice probably watched all those mystery videos and
He's
stuff.
probably part of that underground crew.
Oh my gosh. I even heard of one guy who was like creating some system where he would like manipulate their mind or something. And he would just place words subtly that had a double meaning so that it would get their mind subconsciously thinking about something sexual. God. So it'd be like, "This book really sucks." Or like he'd place a word somewhere in there, just like, but like, babe, me planning that word, it goes in the back of her mind subconsciously, and it just adds up, and it gets that feeling.
Did it work?
Of course it doesn't work. You're like crazy. No, I didn't try this. I'm not like going out there fucking doing this stuff.
You know what it is? If it does work, and you're the type of person that can pull those methods off, you're attracting a certain type of girl. It's usually a very low quality type of girl.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it, I've heard it from actual quality girls. If you tried those methods on legit girls,
it's tacky. It comes across. They pick up on it right away.
Yeah. They do not give a crap.
Yeah.
Which I find hilarious because so many guys are so. Just watching guys' different methods just crack me up. I'm trying to think of another. Like, even when I go out with Alexis, sometimes just for my pure enjoyment, I'll just kind of send her off.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, like.
I'm glad you're that kind of guy because I'm that kind of person too. Okay. Like, if you have a hot girlfriend, people are gonna hit on your girlfriend, you know, and you just gotta just laugh at it. Yeah. You just gotta laugh at it. But yeah, go ahead.
But it's fun to see like just the different things they do. Some like I'll give them credit. Some are like, all right, that was smooth. Others, for the most part, it's just bad across the board. Yeah. It's just like, God,
it's bad stuff. It's really bad stuff.
What are some bad stuff you heard? I'm trying to think of like lines guys use. I will give one guy credit. My first roommate moving out here, I completely respect his hustle when he came to picking up girls. He was a good-looking guy, and he was like half Peruvian, so he had a good exotic look, which worked in his favor. And we'd go out. We'd go to like the penthouse, the Huntley.
Yeah. I remember that place.
And he would just go. He was the perfect example of like, dude, it's all about stats. Like, if you talk to 40 girls in a club, one of them's bound.
Oh, numbers game thing guy.
Yeah, and he was smooth. It's not like he was bad. I was just too in my head to try that method. But he could straight up, if you line 3 girls up side by side, he would straight up talk to her. If she was just like, no. Yeah. Like, all right, go to the next one. Go to the next one. Whereas me, if one girl shut me down, talk about being in your head. I'm like, I can't do this. I suck. Whereas his mindset is, I would ask him, I was like, how are you able to just go girl to girl? And he's like, dude, again, not giving a shit. For him, for me, I look at the shutdown as, oh man, I must just suck at this. I must just look like a loser. He looks at it as, that's your loss, man. Like, if she doesn't want to be with me, she's missing out.
Right.
I was trying to adopt it, and I'm just so
right. Yeah. I think there's a barrier you have to break past, and this is funny we talk about this because this is something I had experience with just this year. My whole life I had relationships. I was always a relationship guy, so this is like the first time at 27 I'm like single and looking to just kind of stay single for a while. So I never did the whole going to bars, hitting on girls type thing, and so like this last year it was like a new thing. I'm just kind of like throwing myself in there. I'm like, all right, does this work? Like, can I actually? Is that possible? Can you go in there and talk to girls? And I've definitely learned a few things, and I think most guys approach girls the wrong way, in that they'll be they'll just be a little timid and not confident enough, and they'll just approach them with the wrong kind of vibe. You know, they're just like, oh, I like what you're wearing. Like, what do you do? Like, we're like, you do this. Like, oh, that's cool. I do this. Like, they keep the conversation so like subtle because they're too afraid to go for it. Yeah, just go all in, say something wacky, say something silly. But if you say something wacky and fun, people want something fun. They don't just want your typical like rhetoric.
They want to see the confidence.
Yeah, and if you do that, if you're like silly yet confident, that seems to work well. Then if you're just like kind of like, like, how you doing? Like, oh, were you here with? Are your friends? Okay, nice to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Like, I'll just like come in and say something ridiculous. Like the other night when I went to the bungalow, someone was wearing a really furry thing, and I was like I don't know what I said, but I basically said she looked like a big teddy bear, and that was the first thing I said to her. I was like, anyone ever told you looked like a big teddy bear? And and she was just laughing at it.
Wait, did it work?
It worked. We started talking about stuff, and I was like, just joking around, like, I'm really only here to talk about your code. Actually, I don't want to actually talk to you.
Yeah,
and just funny,
it's like
silly.
A nice balance of like playful but not giving a shit.
Playful teasing, playful like fun, but also just in a way where I don't want to say don't give a fuck, because when you say don't give a fuck, you can take that in so many ways. It's so broad. You can do it in so many ways, right? If you really didn't give a fuck, you just say whatever the hell you want. I'd be talking shit to everyone. I'd really give a fuck. But yeah, it's a weird thing. But to what you said, like that anxiety, I don't think girls realize how paralyzing that anxiety is. Even if you're a good-looking guy, even if you got stuff going for you, like you have a good personality, you can socialize well, but you're in that bar setting and you have to approach someone you have no reason to talk to this person. Yeah. There's no reason.
And especially if you're choosing a particularly hot girl, there's 7 other guys minimum trying it.
Yeah, you have a certain window, right? This girl's really hot. Maybe people are watching, your friends are watching. This is why I don't think girls realize how like paralyzing that fear can be. But I think it's usually that fear that like restricts any kind of fluidity of thoughts and expression, and that's like kind of what holds you back. If you go in there just a little more confident and knowing, I think for me it was like knowing that girls are waiting for you to make the approach. Yeah. Like girls are waiting for you to talk to them. Yeah. The single girls at bars. So, and it's your job to do that. So it's your job to go around and get rejected if they don't like you or whatever. So if you kind of look at it that way, it kind of takes a weight off your shoulders. Just like, this is normal, all right? This is how it's supposed to be. And then I think the only way to guys could ever get comfortable and good at talking to girls in a bar setting or any kind of cold approach setting, whether it's during the day or wherever, is to just get through that barrier where you're just awkward. It sucks. You've never done it, that's happened with me. Like I tried to approach girls and I was just so fucking awkward with that. I was just so awkward. It was embarrassing. I'm like, oh God, why did I say that? And then I talked to another girl, I'm like, oh shit, why did I say that? But then it kind of just like, you get past a certain barrier.
Practice, the repetition.
Yeah, and then you're just like,
not so bad anymore.
You can talk to this person, like, doesn't matter, it's fine. And that's pretty much all there is to it.
The only good tip I've ever heard from when I've seen those pickup artist things was there was like a 3-second rule, which for me, for someone who gets in their own head, was good. Where it's like if you see someone you can apply this to anything, but in this case, if you see a girl you want to talk to,
right away,
you have 3 seconds to talk to her. Otherwise, don't, because if you go past 3 seconds, you're just gonna think about it. Yeah, you're just gonna.
Or the other thing I realized, I used to do that too. Like I'd see a girl, she'd see me, like smile or something, and I'd still be too nervous to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm too nervous. And then if she sees that you saw her and you made eye contact, the longer you wait, the more awkward it is that you approach her. If you approach her like 10 minutes later after you've like made eye contact several times, it's just like, all right, this guy's fucking weird.
That's a funny thing that guys do is like when they don't talk, and it's just constant eye contact throughout the night where you think like, oh dude, she's staring at me a lot, she likes me, when in reality she's probably super creeped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also funny, just guys, how they do it in groups and they're so sure. It was one of those things growing up.
Again, I knew it.
Just 0 for 2 right there. But yeah, when guys are going out in groups, how everyone's so sure that they're all going to pick someone up. The chance is just so minimal.
Yeah.
Depending on who you're with. But
I think it's more, I find it's more like just a projection outwards that they're trying to make people think that I'm just going to get laid tonight.
Yeah.
Whereas in their head, they're like, oh, fuck, I hope I get laid tonight.
I had a friend who, he must have just identified with this so much. He was like that. He'd be like, dude, I'm going to pick up at least 3 numbers tonight, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then you'd watch him, wouldn't get a single number. But then he would play it up if he was talking to a girl. And you could, like, if you're good at observing, you'd be able to see, like, she's just trying to get out of conversation. Then he'd come back and he wouldn't tell you the truth. He would just be like, yeah, dude, so I got her number, but I wasn't interested, so I didn't even bother. No, that's not what happened. And then if he ended up going home with no one or bringing anyone back, which is usually the case, he would just be like, there just wasn't anyone worthwhile in that bar that day. He always had a reason.
Well, the thing is, and what I've realized through doing that, through just talking to girls, is it's hard to look at yourself. It's really hard to be objective, look at yourself and be like, I fucked that up. Or like, she didn't like me because I was like this. Like, I was acting like this, I said this, I wasn't good enough at getting this certain vibe. It's hard to like look at yourself and be like, man, I sucked at that. Or like, I kind of suck at this right now.
Yeah.
And I think very few people can look at themselves introspectively like that. Because it's hard. It's like, fuck, it's kind of damaging your ego a little bit. But I think if you learn to just accept it, be like, all right, I'm here on the ladder. All right? Like, I'm a little socially awkward. It's uncomfortable, even talking, whether it's girls or talking to anyone. You know, if you want to be better at socializing, better at networking, interacting, it's definitely a developed skill. Some people are naturally inclined to it, I think, but overall it's a developed skill, and you can't make progress if you're not honest with where you're at. If you're at the bottom of the ladder, so what?
Yeah.
You work your way up. This is where you are. This is where you want to get to, you know.
Yeah.
And but I think most people just can't look at that reality and be like, oh no, that girl was just fucking, she was on her period or something. Something was wrong with her. I don't know what the deal is. I would have, if her friend wasn't there, we would have been back at my place already. Yeah. But like the friend ruined it.
Yeah. Everything's going smooth until then.
Yeah.
That's bad. There's, bars were never really a place I thrived in. If anything, the gym became a great place to talk to people.
Gym's much better,
very easy, at least for me, maybe because that's our wheelhouse more, and more our type of people, but yeah.
Absolutely, gym's good. It's not good for most people. It's good for us just because we're
so
comfortable in the gym. For most people, it's like the last place they would think to hit on a girl or just start conversation. Or it's just, depending on what gyms you're at, it could be a very different vibe in those gyms. Like if you train at LA Fitness over here, I'm sure you know vibes are a little different. If you go to Gold's Gym in Venice, where you have all the professional people working out, it's like you go to LA Fitness and you go at a certain time of day, and people are just kind of watching each other. They're judging each other.
Yeah.
People are very on their guard. The girls have the huge headphones on, so they really you really got to work to get them to take that off to talk to them. Yeah.
That's something I find interesting about just gym culture in general. People always, when they first are going to join a gym, they look at a place like Gold's and they're like, oh, I'd never go there. It's all these big guys, they're probably assholes. Yeah. But I found it is the total opposite. You go to LA
totally
Fitnesses,
opposite,
and it's the young gym douches over there that are annoying and taking up space. And you go to a place like Gold's and they're the nicest guys.
Yeah, people don't realize it when at first glance it seems like you're going to be alienated if you go to some big bodybuilder gym. But the reality is it's way more... it's way more of an accepting environment. You can't really be judgy over there because there's way better looking people than you. Even if you're really hot, there's always going to be someone better looking, better body, bigger bodybuilder stuff. So people aren't really trying to compete with each other there. It's like, it's kind of a humble vibe where it's like I know my place in this, you know, it's like, and so you can just be yourself. People don't care. You can grunt, you can yell, you can do whatever. And you get a more eclectic mix of people there. You go to an LA Fitness, all of a sudden everything changes. Yeah. Go to any commercial gym, everything kind of changes. It's like people, I think you just have so many different, there's no cohesiveness to a gym like that. You just get a bunch of strangers in there. There's no community there of lifters or anything like that. So it leads to just, I've talked to a lot of girls who are uncomfortable working out there. people like look at them weird ways. They have really weird people that talk to them and hit on them. And it's just, and I sense it too. I mean, I'm just like, I can sense the vibes of people just staring at each other and stuff. But I think Gold's Gym Venice is just one of those unique areas, and you used to work out there too, where it's just this kind of cohesiveness of like people get along, it's fine, and it's way more welcoming to go to. Like if I had to work at LA Fitness every workout, I can see why I'd skip workouts like my clients do. You know,
that's just too much. Yeah. You got anything going on in the future for yourself? Any big projects? Anything you're looking forward to?
Just personal training right now. I'm looking to just grow my business and get more clients and establish myself more. I'm looking 2018. I'm looking to just market myself more, and through different ways, through different means, with just regular. I'm sure just regular social media and stuff like that, but also I'm looking to shoot videos possibly.
Nice.
Regular instructional videos, but also maybe just some fun videos.
Just some like post on YouTube, on Facebook.
I think, man, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I could create.
I think the big thing that I'm seeing right now is more of creating that online presence because you can grab more people. And there's like that one like Kino body or something. He's always on every Facebook ad. I don't even know if he's legit.
Yeah.
Probably isn't even legit, but he must have just thrown so much money at ads, and he gets a lot of chatter. So the whole thing is like when you put those ads, I forget the exact percentages and stuff, but if you can get like 5% or 10% of the people commenting to like contact you or something like that. It's all about just driving all that traffic and targeting to who you want.
For sure, I'll have an Instagram that's just dedicated to the training, and I think I'm planning kind of a combination of instructional, like educational videos about fitness, lifting, possibly interviews with clients that I've had success with, their story. I've had some pretty interesting people with pretty interesting journeys that we've gone through. One of my clients was a stroke victim, and I think you'd probably see me train him with Evander. Couldn't use the right side of his body when we started training, and over like a 2-year period or whatever, I'd say that we trained together, he has so much more movement that doctors weren't even really saying that he could possibly get back. They weren't sure when he could get back. But through all the constant heavy lifting, he's walking way better.
That's awesome.
Raising his arms above his head and way more movement. And it's been like a crazy journey to see that transition.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you still train? I don't want to say his name, but that one client that always came in the morning.
Mustache, glasses. Oh yeah, we know him.
Is he still around?
He's okay with saying that. Steve Park, he's okay with us talking about.
Okay.
Steve Park is the craziest guy, and I think he can definitely attest to that. He'd be the first to agree with you, at least. At least he's good in that sense.
Yeah. He's consistent.
He is consistent. He comes in and just has the same jokes over and over again. He's always like, oh God, what did he say? I don't know. He's like, oh. Like,
give him raspberries.
Yeah, that's what he says at the end of every one of his jokes. He's like, "Oh, I'm just giving you the raspberries," and he actually pokes at me, physically pokes me. It's really annoying, but he just has the same lines over and over again. Where he's like, "Gosh, what does he say?"
He always used to tease me when I was working out. He's like, "Are you ever working? You're always
working out." Stuff like that. It's like, what am I paying you for, to torture me? Oh. He always does this like, oh boy, gosh.
Yeah, Steve, good old Steve.
Awesome.
If since you are trying to build that, if people want to get a hold of you, we're based in the LA area.
Yeah. Right now, you can just check out if you're interested in training, you want to find out more about training, you can look at my website, rexmanostraining.com. That just gives you a basic gist and some pictures of what to expect and a few testimonials and stuff. And then you can contact me with any fitness questions or anything like that. In terms of videos and social media, I don't have the rest of that out yet, but I'm planning to have that up soon. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Rex, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Good stuff.